Hi guys, Linda here from Create Your Future. I just want to hop on and talk about some similarities and differences between the law of attraction and the law of assumption, and you could find what works best for you. But before we begin, check out the description box below. And I am offering one-on-one coaching, so check that out. The link is in the description box, as well as our free course on how to uncover your blocks and manifest fast. So there's so much arguing between law of attraction and law of assumption and what's better than the next and all that. So there are some similarities and like some slight differences. So I'm going to come on and discuss that with you, and hopefully it will clear up some confusion and kind of make more sense of things. Um, Also, the terminology used with law of attraction is a little bit different than law of assumption. Everyone's like, oh, vibrations and frequencies. However, some of it is similar to the words we use with law of assumption. So, law of attraction, a lot of people discovered when the movie and the book The Secret came out. That was like the be all end all kind of thing at the time. And a lot of motivational speakers spoke about law of attraction. It's more popular. It was kind of mentioned first or focused on first. Law of attraction was everywhere. And when you're down in the dumps and you hear this new thing that people are trying, you kind of all gravitate towards it. And that was the only kind of theory out there, or the most popular theory out there at that time. And The Secret made law of attraction huge. So that's kind of where we all started from. And then as you progress on your journey, you discover law of assumption. It's like, oh, this also makes sense. So I'm just going to speak on my opinion, pros and cons, my thoughts, and yeah. So the law of attraction is more like we are attracting to us our desire. So the universe is out there and we have to think positive thoughts, positive energy, positive vibrations so that we can align to the frequency of that desire, and the universe will give it to us. We will attract it to us from the universe. I also feel the law of attraction is kind of giving power to the external. So yes, with law of attraction and law of assumption, we are able to manifest. We are manifesting. We are in control. We are operant powers. We are able to manifest. However, with law of attraction, it's kind of like, yes, you can manifest, but you have to be aligned to this frequency, and it's up to the universe to decide when and if you're at the same frequency to give it to you. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. So, for example, law of attraction, people will kind of say things like this or something better. So, for example, if you're manifesting an SP and it's not working out and you've been trying and you're doing the visualizations and you're doing affirmations, because law of attraction and assumption both have, techniques to help you get into that better state, better vibration or frequency. And now if you are getting frustrated because you don't have SP, the law of attraction community is more like this or something better. So this person is not meant for you, someone better is coming. Or things like, what is meant for you shall not pass you. So to me, it's kind of like, if I'm a master manifestor, if I am capable and I have the power to manifest, then why can't I have exactly what I want? And then I could be the one that chooses whether or not I want to be with that person in the long run. So it's kind of still giving the power external, and it's almost giving you an excuse to feel better when you don't get the desire. So what I mean by that is, if you don't get the job, there's no accountability on our end. I was high vibration, I was, doing all the techniques, and I didn't get it. And it's like, oh, well, maybe that job is not for you. Something better will come, which is great. It's going to make me feel good, not make me feel like a failure. It's going to keep my energy high. It's going to keep my vibration high, which is fantastic. However, how many times do I have to apply for a job and keep not getting it and keep going through the same thing? How many times do I have to manifest an SP and have the exact same situation repeat over and over again? It's a pattern now, because this or something better, or what's meant for you shall not pass you. Okay, so next, no problem. Next, at what point do we take accountability for ourselves or say, okay, what am I doing to, create this or attract this? Am I not high vibe enough? Is my frequency too low? What am I doing? So I don't like that kind of feeling of we're just going to put it aside and not really have a solution to get what we actually want. If I want that job in particular, or if I'm already working at this place and I love the job and I love my coworkers and the location is perfect and the pay is perfect, but I just want a promotion, I don't want to leave that place to get a promotion somewhere else. I love everything else about it. Why can't I have that promotion at that place with that boss, with that manager right there? So that's something to think about with law of attraction. I feel like it's kind of contradicting. You can manifest, but and it's not convincing. Like conscious manifestation already is difficult for most of us because we're so used to always thinking of something negative or expecting the worst. And then you throw this in where it's like, so can I have it or can I not have it? Are we just going to make excuses for when I don't get it? Like, it's the universe's fault. I have to just raise my vibration. So I don't like that kind of scenario. And what happens when you don't get your desire when you're doing the law of attraction and it doesn't work? What's the answer? What's the reasoning? Something better is coming along? Like, I need to know why. What do I need to do differently? What do I need to be aware of or not aware of? Like, what's going to help me get my desire? So when it comes to law of assumption now, and I find a lot of people start with law of attraction and they're doing all those great things. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love being high vibration. I intertwine my words. I interchange my words. It's not law of attraction or law of assumption. I just like, like I'm vibing. It's a good vibe, right? I love being high vibe. I love being high energy. I love being positive. And of course, when you're thinking and feeling positive things will happen to you. And when you're thinking and worrying about something negative things happen. So in law of assumption, instead of using words like vibration and frequency, we use self-concept and states and mental diet. So you want to have a high, positive, better self-concept. You want to be in a favorable state more dominantly. You want to have a good mental diet, which is the same thing as having all those great thoughts to get your desire. The law of assumption states that whatever we assume to be true will be true. We have the power. If I assume that I'm going to get this job, I'm going to get this job. Period. I can get this job. Period. It's already existing. It's already there. We're just going to assume that we already have it and it's going to reflect back to us. Our wish is already fulfilled. We just have to be in alignment to it. So instead of attracting it, we're just going to align to it. So our thoughts, our fears, our stories, good, bad, ugly, is what's going to make the 3D in front of us conform, and we're going to align to it. We're going to have it reflect back to us. So to me, I feel like law of assumption is a little bit more empowering. And kind of, if you're going to say I'm a master manifestor, then I'm going to be a master manifestor. If you're going to say you can manifest anything, then I want to feel like I have control and the power to manifest anything. However, in law of assumption, there are still people that haven't received their desires or manifested in the 3D what they want to manifest. So in that case is, now we know why. Okay, we're going to reverse engineer. What was I thinking about? What was I worrying about? What was my self-concept about that desire? Like instead of saying this or something better, it's saying, okay, no, I know you still want this. And I assume I have this. I'm assuming that I already have this. I already have, a timeline where I have this SP in particular or this job in particular. So what is it about my thoughts, my fears, my assumptions, this job, myself that is making me not have the desire? And then that's when you go into like your self-concept. Growing up, my parents were divorced. My friends are all divorced. Grandma and grandpa, left, moved away, and relationships never work out, and I'm always abandoned, and everyone on TV says that relationships don't work out. Okay, well that is why I don't have that SP, because I have an assumption that all those things are happening, and that's what is conforming and being reflected back to me. Now, if I still want that SP, if I still want that relationship, I can have it. So now we're going to go into, it's not just affirming, it's not just visualizations, it's not just vision boards. We're actually going to get down to the nitty gritty. What are we assuming? What is the assumption that I am thinking and assuming dominantly that is creating this thing externally? And then you do like your mental diet dump. You bring up stuff from the past, where you think it could come from. Also the story of the desire. So here's my story of myself in relationships. Now, what's the story I have of SP? He's flaky. She just got out of a divorce and probably doesn't want a commitment again. He lives too far and doesn't like long distance relationships. Okay, there's assumptions happening there. So we're going to change those assumptions. So as you're doing the work and taking accountability for why you don't have the desire, I know what I need to work on. I know that it's my assumptions. What I assume to be true will reflect back to me. So I know what I'm thinking. And there's proof of it. Like, did you ever have a time where you're like, oh, I just know so-and-so is going to show up at this party. I just know so-and-so is going to show up at this party. They show up and you're like, see, I knew they were going to be there, because you assumed for it to be true. So to me, I feel like I have more evidence that law of assumption is kind of the way to go. Also, in the opposite, if you didn't get that job that you applied to, if you stop and reverse engineer and say, why didn't I get this job? What was I assuming? I was assuming that I wasn't qualified enough. I was assuming that they'd find someone better. I was assuming that I'm too old or too young for the position, and then therefore you didn't get the job. So do you see how like the assumptions kind of makes more sense? It's happening all the time. We've been manifesting our whole lives. We're always manifesting 24/7. It's just that now that we've learned about law of attraction and law of assumption, we are consciously manifesting. So now we're going to be aware of what we're doing, saying, thinking, feeling, and all of the above to create the life, the desire to manifest in the thing that we want. So I find law of assumption more empowering, and I feel like it just makes more sense to me because I see proof of the way I'm thinking. I can kind of gauge after something happens, like, oh, I was thinking that. I kind of know why I'm not getting my desire, and I know why I did get my desire. Where law of attraction just kind of leaves it up to the universe, and if you're not vibing high enough, you can't attract it in. And if you don't attract it in, that means it's not meant for you, because you're going to get this or something better. So that's the part that doesn't sit well with me. I want what I want, and I'm going to get what I want, period. And if I don't get what I want, I know exactly why and how, and whatever I was thinking, and what I need to work on or fix or change in order to align myself with getting that thing in the 3D. So that is my little spiel on law of attraction, law of assumption. So there are some similarities where obviously we want to be in a better state, vibration, mental diet to attract in or align with things that are great. And obviously if we're thinking negatively and sour and angry and jealous and gossiping, you're at a lower vibration and you're not going to bring in what you want to bring in as easily or as quickly or at all. So in my opinion, I feel that the law of assumption is more well-rounded. I like feeling like I'm empowered. I like feeling that I'm in control. And I like being able to see and take accountability and be aware of how I'm creating whatever's external, good, bad, and ugly. So yeah, so on that note, I intend that clarified or made more sense in regards to law of attraction and law of assumption. And you pick what's best for you. And if you need some help, you could always book a session. And until next time, we'll chat soon. Bye.